Hi, thank you for joining our Python programming course. And this is our week number 3, and we're going to discuss about branch and iteration. Actually, it's a brief introduction about branch and iteration because we're going to discuss a lot more in class. Well, just like in C, branching in Python includes just if. We don't have switch in Python, not like in C. In C, we have if and also switch, but in Python, we only have if. So we're going to just focus on if clause. So like in C, we have simple if, just if, and also the nested if else, and if else. Well, branch is the simplest form on how to control the flow of a program. Using if else or if else, we can determine whether a statement will be executed or not. This is the syntax for the if else. First, we're going to print if and then Boolean expression. Remember what is expression? We already discussed about expression. Expression is an operand plus an operator. And then after that, we need to print the colon and then the statement number 1, and then else with a colon, and then statement number 2. Okay, now let's try to run this code below. Well, if true, this is the Boolean expression, although this one is actually just the result of Boolean expression is either true or false. So if, we'll check whether it's true or false. If true, then do this. Let's try it out. Let's run this statement. If true, then it's always true, then it's going to print it is a truth. Okay, still connecting. Now, it is the truth. Now, how about this one? This actually the Boolean expression. We have two operand, 6 and 3, and then also the operator. And this is the comparator operator. The result of comparator operator is either true or false. So, is 6 more than 3? The result will be either true or false. So 6, yes, 6 is more than 3, so it's true. If true, then it's going to print true, 6 is bigger than 3. Okay. Now, this is something very different compared to C. In C, every time we want to separate a part of a code, we need to use the curly bracket in here. For example, if 6 more than 3, this is in C, we have to start with curly bracket and then do this and then do that. And then remember to end this part of the code with the closing curly bracket. This is in C language. But in Python, we just need to use the colon and then to identify that this, do this and do that is part of the if clause, then we need to do the indentation. The same indentation, like 2 spaces or maybe 3 spaces. It could be 2, 3, 4, as long as it's the same spaces. Okay. So that's why in here, Python indentation is very crucial since it's going to replace the curly bracket in C. Okay, so let's try this code below. Please input a positive integer number. Okay, positive integer. Let's try 10 and then enter. And then it's going to check if A, which is the number or the value input by me, because A is 10 and 10 is more than 0, then it's going to become true. This Boolean expression is true. So it's going to print, yes, you have done well, my apprentice. Okay. Remember, we don't have curly bracket. We don't need any sign, just the colon, this one. How about if I mistype the indentation, for example, like this, and then 10, the same. But if I do this, print, there is something wrong. Okay. Then it's going to say indentation error because we use different indentation. This one, two, three spaces, but this one is one, two spaces. We need to make it the same, evenly spaced indentation. We can use this, or we can do this, as long as they are the same. Okay. Now, how about if I'm going to use the else if, and else syntax? Well, if, and then I'm going to check the Boolean expression. If this one is true, then I'm going to do this, the end, just that. Because after that, it's going to, if this one is not true, then check this one. If this one also false, then do this, the else part. Okay, so this one is like branching. First, check this one, and then if this one is false, let's move to the second check. If the second check is also false, then the last check. If this one is false, then check this one. But if this one is true, then do this, statement number 2. That's it. It's not going to run the else part. Okay, now let's try this one. First, it's going to print the menu, and then please enter 1 for addition, and please enter 2 for subtraction. Okay, let's try menu number 1. Okay, now please input A. Okay, A is 2, and then B, what is the value of B? Okay, B is 3, for example, and then enter. It's going to check if menu is 1. Yes, I input 1 in this example. So this one is true. So it's going to print A plus B equal 5. Okay. Now, how about if I input the menu 2? Okay, what's the value of A? Okay, let's try 3 in here. What's the value of B? 4, for example. And then, because I input the menu 2, then it's going to check, is the menu equal to 1? Nope, false. Menu is 2, not 1. Okay, so I'm not going to do this. Instead, I'm going to check this one. Is the menu equal to 2? Oh, yes, menu is equal to 2. So that means I'm going to do this. So I'm going to print A minus B is minus 1. That's it. I'm not going to do the else part. Okay. Now, how about if I input the menu outside 1 and 2? Let's say 0. Okay. What's the value of A? 5. B, 6. And then it's going to check, is the menu 1? No. Okay. Is the menu 2? Nope. Okay. So that's mean I'm going to do the else part. Print. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Now let's move on. Now let's try to create a program that processes score into the grade. In our campus, we have the following rule to get a grade from a score. For example, if your score is more than 85, then you get A. If the score between 75 to 85, then you got AB. 70 to 75, B. 60 to 70, BC, etc. And the last one, if your score is below 50, then you got D. Okay, so I'm going to use the nested if. First, I'm going to check whether the score is more than 85 or not. If yes, if this one is true, then I'm going to print A. That's it. I'm not going to check this else if. I'm not going to check this else if. I'm not going to check this else if, and else. Just do this, the end. Okay. But if the score is, for example, 80, so I'm going to check first, is the score more than 85? No, because the score is 80. So I'm not going to do this. I'm going to check the second if. Is the score more than 75? Oh, yes. 80 is more than 75. So I'm going to do this, which is print AB. And that's it. I'm not going to run this one. I'm not going to check this one. I'm not going to check this and this. Okay, let's try it out. The score is, let's say, 90. So I'm going to print A because 90, the first check, score is more than 85, true. Okay, print A. That's it. Okay, how about if the score is 80? First, it's going to check, is the score more than 85? Is 80 more than 85? False. So the second check, is the score more than 75? Oh, yes. This one is true. So I'm going to print AB. That's it. I'm not going to check this one. I'm not going to check this one. I'm not going to check this one. Okay. How about if the score is, let's say, 25? So I'm going to check, is the score more than 85? Nope. Is the score more than 75? Nope. Is the score more than 70? Nope. More than 60? Nope. More than 50? Nope. Okay. So that means I'm going to do the else part, which is print D. Okay. This is actually the same thing. The result will be the same. Like, for example, I'm going to do this one. But we have a different process in here. The same result, but different process. Let's say, for example, the score is, let's say, 90 or 95, for example. Is the score more than 85? Yes. Then I'm going to print A. Okay. Next, check. Is the score more than 75? Yes. So print AB. So I'm going to print A, AB, B, and BC, and so C. Okay. But let's say I'm going to use something like this. The score is 95 again. It's not going to print AB. Why? Because the score is not less than or equal to 85. It's true, the score is more than 75, but this one is false. True and false equal false. So remember, and is like multiplication. True and false is false. So I can use this one also. Score is less than 75. And also this one, and score is less than 70. And then, and score less than equal to 60. Okay, so I run this code. 95, enter. It's going to print A and also D because it's going to become, this one is true, but this one is false. True and false, false. So I'm going to do this else part. So I'm going to print A and also print D. Okay, so what's the difference between nested if and if? In nested if I already found a true if, then I'm going to run that part only, and then I'm not going to check the rest of the nested if. But using if, I'm going to check one by one. Check this one. Even though this one is already true, I'm going to check this one also. And I'm going to check this one also, and also this one. Okay. So this one, this explains the difference between nested if and if. Okay. Now, let's move on to the iteration. Iteration or loop in Python, they provide two types of loop. First one is for, and the second one is while. We have different usage between for and while. In for, we use for if we already understand or we already know the number of the loop. Let's say, for example, I want to count from 1 to 5. So the number of the loop is already defined. We already know the number of the loop, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if the number of the loop is unpredicted, so we're going to use while. Okay. Now, a little bit different with for in C. In C, if we are using for, then I'm going to print something like this, for, and then integer I start with 0, and then let's do this when I still less than 5, for example, and then I plus plus, please add I with 1, and then do this. This is how we print the for iteration in C language. But in Python, we're going to use range. Range is a special function from Python. It's going to give you a sequence of number. For example, I'm going to use range 5. That means function range will return 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's write that. Oh, start from 0, sorry. So range 5 will start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Print I. Okay, this one I'm going to. So I'm going to print from 0 to 5. Okay. But there is one difference between C language and Python. In C language, the last value of I is 5. But in here, the last value of I is 4. This one. Okay. Now, range can also accept two parameters, for example, 2 and 5. So that means, please give me number, start from 2, and then end with a value before 5. So I'm going to print 2 to 4, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, how about three values? Well, the third value will be the stepping value. So I'm going to I'm going to have start from 2 and then plus 3 is 5. So 2, 5, and then that's it. 2 and 5. So the stepping value is 3. How about if I change this one to become 9? So it will become 2, 5, and 8. So the stepping value. The third value will be the stepping value. So this one is the start value. This is the check, not the last value, the check value. Like in this case is this one. And then this is the stepping value. Just like in C language, to transform this statement in Python into C, so this will be start with 2 and then place n when please do this when I still less than 9 and then I plus 3. So the stepping value is 3. Okay, this is in C language. Can I count down? Yes. We just need the stepping value with a negative. Let's try it out. So I'm going to start with 10, and then 10 minus 3 is 7. Okay, 7 is still more than 5, so that's true. And then 7 minus 3 is 4, but 4 is already less than 5. So I'm going to stop at 7. Okay. Now, can I use something like this? Input A. Let's try maybe 8. So I'm going to print just 8. So this is different between range and a value. How about if I input the value with my name is Bol. And then I'm going to print each character from the string. Capital M, Y, and then space, N, A, M, E, space, I, S, space, capital B, O, L, B, O, L. Okay. Now, let's try to use while to create the same loop. Well, using while, first, we need to give the starting value. For example, this one. Let's start with the first one. Okay. This is going to print from 0 to 4. So I must be start from 0. And then while I still less than 5, print I, and then I plus plus. The result will be the same, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. if the starting value is 2, then I'm just going to use I is equal to 2 and then do this while I still less than 5, then print I, which is 2, and then 3, and then 4, I plus plus. Okay. How about if the stepping value is 3, then 2, 5. Because it's still less, 5 is still less than 8. How about this one? Counting down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. How about 5? Oh, 5 is not more than 5. So I'm going to stop at 6. Okay. What will be the last value of I? Let's try it out. Print I. This last value of I is 5. Because it's going to do this, then check. So I become 5, and then check, oops, 5 is not more than 5, then I'm not going to do this one. Okay, now let's try a simple program. This program will count or sum the number we input. Okay, first I'm going to ask how many number. Okay, I'm going to input 5 number. Okay, input the number, the first number. Okay, it's 10. And then input a number, it's 15. And then 5. And then let's say 8. And then 7. That's it. So the total number you enter is 45. So I'm going to iterate number of time, which is the loop number, because I input 5 for the value of the loop. So I'm going to add 5 times, asking 5 times, and then add that number, that input number to the total. So input the number 10. Okay, so now 10 plus total, which is already still 0. 0 plus 10, so total is 10. Okay, the second number, 15. 15 plus 10 is 25. Okay, the third number, 5. 5 plus 25 is 30. Okay, now 8. 8 plus 30 is 38. And then 7, 38 plus 7 is 45. Okay. How about if I want to ask the user, you can input as many number as you like. So you don't have to define first how many number that you want to add, like this in the first example. Because in the first example, first I'm going to ask, okay, how many number? 5. Okay, I'm going to iterate 5 times. But if I'm going to give a flexible number to the user, let's say you can input any number, just input 0 if you're already satisfied. Okay, input a number. Input a number, let's say I'm going to add 10, and then 15, and then 5, and then what else? 8, and then 7, and then I think that's it. I'm going to input 0. Okay, and then, okay, the total number you enter is 45. So this is different between for, which is already defined with the number of the loop, with while. Because in while, we cannot identify how many iterations that we're going to do. Okay, I think that's it for the brief explanation about branch and iteration in Python. Okay, remember, in branch, we have if and nested if, and remember about indentation. And then in iteration, in Python, we have for and while. And remember, we use range to provide a sequence of number. In range, we can have one parameter or two parameters or three parameters. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you.